What's going on, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Blades Babble. I'm Chris, and today I'm joined by Sam, and we're going to be deep diving into his knife collection.
Got some stuff that I haven't shown off too much on streams, so something new for you guys to see, and some older knives.
Yeah, which is actually pretty surprising, dude. I feel like I've seen most of your knives, but yeah, some of these I haven't even seen, so
yeah, a lot of these
are pretty awesome.
Safe queens.
But yeah, we're gonna deep dive into a couple of these, see where you got them from, kind of, I guess, see where your collections kind of stems from. I guess, things like you were telling me earlier. So
yeah.
What do you want to jump into first, man?
I brought two fixed blades. Let's get some fixed blades out of the way.
Yeah.
We'll start with the one that I've been carrying a lot lately. Is the Tactile Dreadeye. It's got CPM 3V on the blade steel, and it's just been a great little lightweight EDC fixed blade. It's got the Ulti clip. I think the 2.2 on there.
It come with that? Or?
I can't remember because this was one I picked up from my dad. And so I don't remember if he just gave me the Ulti clip or if it came with one on there. But yeah, it's got great sheath retention. It's got rich light micarta scales. It's just been a good beater knife.
Yeah, I feel like the pocket fixed blade thing is really big right now, man.
It is.
Within like the last 2 years, it's just it's been the way to go. And obviously, with one of the next knives coming up, it's kind of like my introduction into the pocket fixed blade.
that was mine as well. And then went to this one from there.
This thing's pretty cool. It's got some little battle markings.
Oh yeah, I've been
like
using that one. The tip's all boogered up.
Yeah, that's cool. I think Tactile, for what they're doing right now, man, is just doing such a really good job.
They are, and I really like their hardware. As like nerdy and as small detail as that is, all the hardware because I know they OEM hardware for some other makers.
Yeah, they do it for Nice Guy Machine Co. Yeah, so that's almost like
they really knock it out of the park.
They know what they're doing because if you have any of Archie's products, he puts his heart and soul into it. So I'm sure he wouldn't just work with anyone on some screws. So that's cool. Yeah, so that's awesome, man. Just looking at you, I wouldn't expect you to have.
I'm not a fixed blade guy.
I'm not either. I've tried a couple of times, and I'm not a fixed blade guy. So I'm surprised to see some of those in your collection. So.
Yeah, I've really been. I mean, I'm surprised too, but I've been enjoying them.
Yeah. So this one is one of our exclusives. So obviously, anytime he brings us in, this one catches my eye. I actually used to have one, which is a story for another time. But the Blacktail exclusive HOB Blacktail with the blue denim and the brass hardware.
It's an S90V too. Yeah. It's the only knife I have right now with S90V.
Yeah. So these were cool. This was a project I was really involved in. Getting together with Wyatt and stuff and bringing his knives here. So I consider this one of my babies, I guess, as far as like collaborations here with the House of Blades. But yeah, I mean, so did you snag this one from your dad as well, or?
So I picked up the blue denim HOB and Cosi.
Okay.
And when I got home, I was like, dude, check it out, new knife day. And he ended up giving me this one just to match it. So I have a matching set.
That's cool. I like it, dude.
But yeah, like I said, only one with S90V. And this one is definitely a pocket. I don't have a clip on the sheath. I just throw it down in there, throw it down in my pocket, and it's good to go.
I think the blue denim's a good choice as an exclusive for us being in Texas, you know what I mean? Just blue jeans, Levi's, things like that. It's just kind of what we're known for. So yeah, I think that's cool. Those are gone. Those are never coming back, and it's part of your collection. So I think it's a really cool piece to have, man. Just
I love it.
Kind of adding some uniqueness to your stuff.
It's a good one. I guess next we'll get into some old knives from my childhood. We'll start with the OG Spyderco Native. This one's got the riveted or pressed clip, so that clip is in there.
So now when you say from your childhood, this is your first knife, or?
Well, from my child, I've had it for a really long time. This was the knife that my dad EDC'd for most of my childhood.
So this is the knife that your dad had, and you were always like, oh man, I really.
He's like, hey, let me see your knife.
Let me see your knife.
Like this is the one that started it all.
So the original grail of a child, kind of seeing your dad.
You got the swedge on it and everything, but yeah, this was my childhood grail. This is the knife that started it all. I absolutely adore this knife. I never carry it. I will never carry it.
That's cool.
It's never coming out of the safe again after today.
So it's like I'm seeing a pattern, like gifts and, trades with your father. So your collection kind of holds a little bit of a special, I guess,
Oh
bond
yeah,
between the two of you. Obviously sharing in the hobby,
definitely.
but now you have pieces in your collection that are going to be there forever. So
Definitely, and with that, he's my favorite person to sell knives to because I'm just gonna get him back one day.
yeah, so you're just like, here, hold on to this for me so I can go buy something
Yeah,
else.
carry this for the next 40 years.
Hopefully he's not watching as he hits this. Maybe I'll cut it out. We don't know yet.
Oh man, and then the next one is just another old knife of his. Just another one that I don't ever carry, don't ever show off on the stream. Something new for you guys to see is the old school Kershaw Kin Onion Boa.
Yeah.
Another knife that I adore. This pocket clip has been absolutely obliterated. This thing has scraped concrete in many a fight. This thing has seen a little bit of combat.
Yeah.
And I love this thing. It's got CPM 440V, great steel back in the day when this thing came out. And the torsion bar is still good on it.
It's surprising because,
yeah.
you know, I see a lot of them broken, especially once they get a lot of wear, they just snap. So.
And he took the lock out of it, so there's no lock in there anymore.
Okay, gotcha.
It's been super smooth. I'll just check
Yeah,
that guy
so
out.
when you were pulling these out earlier, so I got a little quick sneak peek at them. I didn't know what this was. I've never seen this knife in the entire time I've been in the hobby. And I immediately said, I was like, this kind of looks like a scallion.
Yep.
And
like,
sure enough, yeah, it's a Kin Onion design. So it has those body lines and stuff. And I think this is really cool because it's not destroyed. You know, like you were saying, it's seen some better days, but you know, I think it's just the right amount of use to kind of pass on to someone else. It still feels new, not too bad, but it's got some characteristic marks on there, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just need to get a good edge on there, and it'll be good to go.
Which this, like, if we can just talk from a sharpening perspective real quick, recurve serrated, not like when I see this, I'm like, oh, God, I don't mind sharpening, but yeah, when I see blades that just have some insaneness going on, I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to sharpen that knife.
Yeah, I leave the serrations alone on that guy.
Yeah.
I just hit up the plain edge.
Yeah, I mean, eventually, and then you know you see the toothpicks, so people have pretty much already just whittled them down just because their serrations are there. They don't have a choice, but yeah, that's a cool one, man. I like that one. I think that's neat.
Yeah.
So a couple of rare pieces already. You know, the exclusive that you can no longer buy anymore, and then a couple of knives that
old and discontinued.
Yeah, old, discontinued, and just, you know, as well as from your father. So, you know, just some really rare stuff, man. That's neat.
I guess we'll get into my one Benchmade folder that I have in my
your
collection.
Only one? So I have a lot of Benchmades, so I'm surprised you only have one.
Oh, so I have two Benchmades in my collection. One is the fixed Adamas. That's my knife I take camping. That's my chop a tree down.
Yeah.
Just apocalypse knife.
Yeah, you're going to work with that one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then this guy, a little 945 with the black and blue G10 S30V. Threw a little Lynch Northwest deep carry clip on there.
Extra deep.
Yeah, really. I don't know how well that's coming across, but it is. We'll have to do some B-roll. Yeah, you can see it. Extra deep carry. I'll let you check that guy out. I'm a really, really, really big fan of the Osborne. I mean, who isn't? It's kind of just the EDC knife in my mind.
It is, and you know what? So my first one was a Griptilian. I immediately graduated to a 940, and I've had every variation as well as those variations being Frankenstein together to make my all black one, which you guys can see some pictures of it on Instagram and stuff. It's made it into some posts and whatnot, but yeah, I love the 948. I think if it was one and done, I had to choose out of everything, and you know, I'm not taking into account I may want like a Koenig or something like that. I think the 940 would just be my default. Like, hey, I've got $200.
I think so. Specifically, I would want the carbon fiber S90V.
Okay.
That's my favorite. I love that knife.
Is it just because of the blade steel, or is it the color combinations? Because I actually think the red and gray one they did.
Okay, yeah, that one's nice.
Was a sick one.
It's mainly the blade steel, just because S90V is a beast.
Yeah.
And carbon fiber is nice. I think it's a nice looking knife.
Yeah.
But overall, I actually prefer the size of the 945. I just like smaller knives.
So I don't like the 945. I prefer the bigger ones. And it's not short of trying. I have a small Sabinza. I
Yeah.
have a bunch of other small knives.
It's like the small and Kosi.
I think,
Nobody likes the small
yeah.
and Kosi.
No,
I love it.
I don't. I'm a big Chris Reeve fan. I like all the Chris Reeves, and I will get in Kosi. Small and Kosi's not happening. It does not.
It's tiny.
It does not look right in that form factor. So small Sabins. I love the small knives as when I think of it in like pouch form. Like, hey, I'm tossing this in my pouch. It's going in my bag.
That is a great knife
Yeah.
to go down in one of the little what juniors.
Yeah, exactly.
It
but
fits
it's just,
right down in
I
there.
wouldn't carry it though. Like it would go in that pouch.
Yeah.
That pouch would come with me in my backpack, in my sling, whatever. But it's never coming out going in the pocket.
It's a pouch queen.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. But it's there if I need it, maybe in the off chance. But small knives aren't the way to go for me. So I'm actually surprised to see that because most of the knives here are fairly a lot larger than that.
Yeah. They are. I like. I don't know. 3.5 inches on the blade length is typically what I go for. 3 1/4 to 3.5 is like my sweet spot. But I am a really big fan of like the 945, the small and Kosi, small Sabinza, the I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but Kaiser's got not Kaiser. Concept has a knife that has the crossbar lock with the Timascus handle and the Dana steel blade that's really tiny. I love that knife.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like.
I saw them in passing, so I was like, I still need to get
small
familiar
knives.
with those as we just brought them in. But yeah.
And then moving into the mid-tech section, I guess this one's just a simple knife. It's about as bare bones as a mid-tech knife gets. It's got no lock bar insert, no over travel stop, stainless steel bearings, titanium scales, 204P on the blade, but it's got great action. And that would be the Defiant 7 Servo.
Yeah.
It's a Les George design.
So I think you showed this to me about a month ago, which, I wasn't expecting you to have this thing. I think this thing is really cool, and just for it being what it is. Plain, just it looks like an old school knife from back in the day, you know what I mean? Like just something before my time, before we started getting all fancy with the milling patterns and stuff. This was probably how most titanium folders look, just plain, clean. It's a knife you put in your pocket. But the stonewash, typically the blade stonewash doesn't really match the stonewash on the handle. And I feel like this knife just brings it all together.
It's very uniform.
Yeah.
And it actually came with a really, really good factory edge on it.
Yeah. I was like, I would switch up the clip. Personal preference.
Yeah.
But I'm, again, back from the time where I'm assuming this is a functional pocket clip. That's all it's supposed to be. Maybe a milled pocket clip in my opinion.
I would rather have a milled pocket clip or the pocket clip be a little bit longer. The fact that the lock bar relief cut is like right there on the clip, it kind of snags going in and out of the pocket.
Okay, gotcha.
But once this knife is, you get it in your hand and then you deploy it, you hold it, it's perfect. Yeah, so I guess that's all for that one. It's nothing really too special. Just
no special story behind it.
No.
Didn't find it underneath the back of a tire or something like that.
It's just a good, solid knife.
That's cool, man.
And then, keeping with the sort of mid-tech, we've got Chris Reeve. This is my large Incosi with the Tonto and the carbon fiber show scale.
The segue from us not liking the Incosi was a missed opportunity to just jump right into that one. But no, so yeah, I was saying I'm a big fan of Chris Reeve. You got this knife. I believe you got it around Blade Show Texas time.
It was right, but it was like the night before.
And I think you showed me at Blade Show Texas. And I've always been not the biggest fan of carbon fiber. Sometimes it's done really well, sometimes it's not. It looks fake, faux carbon fiber, whatever. Even when it's real, it looks fake. This one, which is an exclusive to another company, I think it looks great, which makes me want the Sabinza exclusive of this one.
And then I threw the nice guy clip on this one.
Yeah.
And it's good. I just keep the spoon clip on all my other CRKs. But
yeah. I love, the nice guy stuff. The aftermarket things you can throw on a Sabinza and just without completely changing it, I think is perfect. I open his knife like this because I don't want to wear off any of the blue on the thumb stud. But I think that's appropriate. If anyone out there is listening, I think you guys should do the same to respect other people's knives. Unless you're carrying my knives, and then of course you can
hammer.
Yeah, snap it open. It's fine. I don't care. But yeah, no, I think I think this one is really cool, man. I think out of there's another one that I would take over this one, but yeah, I love this knife in your collection, man. So story behind this one? No,
Got
you just
it.
picked it up, right?
Yeah, dude, I got it. Got it in a
got
trade. Got it in a trade. I forgot what I traded for it. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Forgot what I traded for it, but picked it up in a trade.
I'm curious on what trade bait got that. Maybe another McNeese or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was either another mid-tech or a couple knives.
Gotcha.
I can't remember right now.
Stuff comes in and out, guys. Like at this point, man. And we're only looking at a small portion of this collection. So if you guys like the video, remember, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe.
You can do a part 2.
We'll do a part 2. Yeah.
Completely different knives.
Yeah. Bring the whole until we're completely caught up on Sam's collection. We'll just keep doing these videos. So
it is ever changing. Ever changing. But we'll go into the knife that I've been carrying the past couple days, which is just my plain Jane Archer. I'm a big tactile fan, if you guys have not been able to tell. This one had the X-Tone clip and backspacer, the little sandpaper. And then it's got, I think they call this the Distressed X-Tone finish. This was one of the early ones they did for Blade Show Texas 2024. So it still has the original plunge grind.
Yeah.
But I put a 22-degree edge on this, and it might be one of the sharpest knives in my collection after that. Really big fan of that guy.
Yeah, so this is the knife that I would take over everything. So I have an Archer as well. You guys have caught us on the live streams. Wednesdays, live at 5. Might as well go ahead and plug that. But yeah, my Archer is, again, also one of the originals. So it has that original plunge grind. So I'm kind of sharpening back on that accidentally. And it's just the placement of it. I still love the knife. They're making changes and iterations to the newer ones. So you won't experience that, but I kind of take it as...
Yeah, it's cool to have, just because most of them, I think they've been making them long enough now, most of them have the updated plunge grind.
Yeah.
Which is good. I do prefer that. But, I don't know, it's cool to have one of the early ones.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome, man. I think this is, just a piece that you're always going to look back on, whether you have more, but that's going to be one of the first ones. Just like when I got into Hinderers, I got into Koenigs, and I see the Gen 1s and all that stuff. They're not milled. They've got this slightly different, flipper tab or something like that. Something is always different on them. I think it's cool to always kind of have like a little piece of history with you because you never know where that knife is going to go.
Yeah.
So I think that's, my favorite knife as of right now would be the Archer.
I kind of saved what I think are the best 3 for last. That started the last 3, and I guess next we'll go into this guy. This is my first of the Gen 2 McNeeses. This is a PM Mac 2, 3.5 inch. This one is blue and bronze swerve milling pattern. It's got the light blue satin titanium hardware kit, and I threw a deep carry clip on there. And this one's actually flat ground. He's been doing a lot of flat grinds lately, and I like it because the rest of mine are hollow. But this thing is just super smooth, phenomenal action. This is one of my favorite knives. I love this thing.
Did you pick this up directly from his drops? Or?
I did not. It's another one that I got in a trade with my dad. I traded him a small batch production attention to detail. I think it was a number 4 of 6 for that guy and this guy.
Okay, so it was a combo trade. Gotcha. Oh, this is cool. I mean, MagnaCut, I love the milling pattern on it. Just the way they did that anno, man.
I do too. The bronze was a little more bronze when it came from the factory. Took a little bit of the wicked clean to it, and it made it it kind of dulled out the bronze just a little bit, which I like a little bit better.
I got it. I think that's cool. I was gonna say it's slightly dull, but like in the middle, you kind of see this like darkened bronze kind of fading in. So I think that's cool. Yeah, man. I think McNeese does a really good job, and I love the knives that just have like a big belly like that, man. Like
as far as functionality, his knives are some of my favorite to everyday carry.
Yeah, tiny, compact. I mean, I do think that they have some weight to them, but it's full tie, so I would kind of expect that.
He's been doing ones now, carbon fiber, micarta show scales. I bet those would definitely reduce some of that weight. and it's got a new model coming out soon, but I'm going to try to pick one of those at the Blade Show.
You know, I think the thumb studs are a little plain, but, you know, maybe it's just I'm having like Chris Reeve bias because I'm so used to like seeing the kind of a pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
On. So just when I see rounded ones, I'm like, we could do better on thumb studs, but I think these are cool. I think it's a nice piece, dude.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I need to get into McNeese. I haven't gotten into them yet, so I'm trying to save my money for other things. All right, so the last knife for, you know, this part 1 of Sam's collection.
This is my only, I guess, technically custom knife. You know, because the McNeeses, while they're almost custom, you know, they've got CNC ground blade or CNC milled blades, and so they're not, I guess, technically full custom. But this guy is the attention to detail. It's the Mark 1 medium in Magna Cut with the drop point rising grind. It's a shipwreck anno flow pattern. I am absolutely in love. This is my favorite knife by far. Green's my favorite color. Magna Cut's my favorite steel. Doug over at Attention to Detail is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. Just, yeah, can't praise this knife enough.
Yeah, so I swung by the booth and it was crazy. Just all kinds of crazy looking knives over there. You took me over there. I wasn't familiar with their work. I do think this is cool, and you can always tell. I feel like you 100% can always tell when something is custom. You know?
Yeah, it just it's gonna sound bad, but something that's custom doesn't have the fit and finish of a Chris Reeve, of something that's mid-tech CNC. They're a little more special. They're a little more personal. They've got, you can tell they're done by hand.
Yeah, and you 100% you can. You know, same thing. I would almost compare this to when I picked up a Peter Carey custom. It is very much what that felt like. You know, it's got some weight to it. It's got, you know, these polishes like this what is it? Like the hand satin kind of finish.
Oh, yes.
Up here, you know, you can tell that was put in there, not just by a belt grinder. You know, they took the time to do that before they did the finish on the bottom half of the blade. So, yeah, I think this thing is kind of crazy, man. It is a unique looking knife for sure, with those lines, and I dig it. You know what I mean? Like, I love harpoons and stuff like this, so this kind of like spike pattern back here, the way it drops off. I know it's not a harpoon blade, but it's kind of got
He does have some harpoon blades too. His harpoon blades are really, really nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's aggressive. I like it. I think the clip could be slightly shorter, but
yeah, it's a little bit of a long clip.
And I don't know anything about knife making, so I shouldn't be giving my 2 cents on this.
The clip just kind of goes out.
Yeah,
I think it's just a design thing. Gives it room to ramp up. They could have made it a little bit shorter because actual point of contact's right there. But personally, it doesn't bother me. But I could see definitely have someone who want a shorter clip on there.
That's cool.
But is shipwreck anno? I want to show this on B-roll. Kind of goes purplish to bronze in some spots. It's just a really, really cool finish. That's my collection.
Cool. That is Sam's collection, guys. So real quick, we're gonna throw a curveball at him that he's not prepared for. What is the next knife you want to add to this?
The McNeese Dixon.
Okay.
He just announced that model. He's getting some ready for Blade Show. Yeah. I've got a wish list right now consists of three knives that I'm going for at Blade Show Atlanta. I would like to get a Stonewash Hinderer Eclipse. Of any blade shape, just a Stonewash Eclipse. I want to get another Attention to Detail custom, maybe a Mark II, and get one on washers. And the McNeese Dixon. It's my wish list right now.
Awesome, man. Well, not much of a curveball then. Guys, remember, if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. And we will be coming back with a few more videos. We don't have a time schedule yet, but please tune into our Live at 5 on Wednesdays. And again, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Catch you on the next one. Peace.